This is a quick demo that complements our lecture materials about how to write a quick hello world from C++ Anatomy of Console application. I'm using one of the more popular online IDE options called Online GDB. There are other options, other sites like Replit, like cpp.sh. Ultimately, you can use any of those. You can also use your CodeBlot or Visual Studio Code. If you have those installed on your computer, you can do the same thing there. Just to quickly illustrate, I'm going to write your Hello World application from beginning to end. First thing we need to do is to include preprocess definition. As we stated, the preprocess definition allows you to pull this IOStream libraries in from your local standard directory where this IOStream is located, right into your code. That's the very first thing. So IOStream is responsible for providing your input and output set of features to your C++ applications. Input, namely your read input from the keyboard, output, meaning your display output on a screen, and things like that. Your input can also be from your audio devices. So there's a lot of input and output. The part of the input and output feature that we want out of this library is located in the standard library. So STD stands for the standard library namespace. So you can think of this entire IOStream being kind of compartmentalized into various different namespaces. And the part that we really want is the standard library. So these two lines of codes are pretty standard for all of the C++ solutions that you'll be writing. We're going to write a function, and this function has a name called main. It turns out that this main point of entry for all of the console applications in C++. Included in this function signature is the return type. This return type is an integer. So what you need to do is to make sure that you return something, and the return statement ends with a semicolon. C++ console application returns a 0. This means true, even though 0 means false. This is by conventions. We've got the standard libraries included. See out our code. We're going to write hello world. This hello world is a string, so you have to encapsulate it with a pair of double quotes. You can end it just like this. This end else is basically a return carriage. Cout is the method that allows you to print stuff out to the console. So let's just run this. This should give us hello world. So we just see hello world right here. This is a reference online. As you can see here, the main function in C++ comes with a different flavor. This is flavor number 1. Number 2 has an argument. So let's just cut and paste this in there, and I'll explain. And let's just do the run again. This compiles again. Your main function can take the form of 0 argument, or you can take the form of 2 arguments. So the very first argument specifies a number of arguments you have. Let's say if you want to pass in 2 arguments, the very first one is going to be 2. The second one is an array of what those arguments are in the form of an array of string. So the very first string is X, Y, Z. The second one could be A, B, and C. So you push them into an array and pass it in that way. We don't really need this unless at runtime you wish to pass in something from the console applications. Otherwise, you don't need to have any parameters specified in the main. If you don't have the namespace included here, that's fine. You can also include your namespace scope in front of your cout, and the same thing here. STD basically has all of the features you need for executing all of the input and output statements in C++. And notice that every statement ends with a semicolon. This is the complete form of your hello world. I will go through more about the compilation process in C++, as well as some of the nitty-gritties that are associated with writing codes like this.